What's going on, Shady People? ShadyPenguinn here, welcoming you back to another live Wi-Fi battle today against a shady person, Styx, whose Twitter link is in the description. Remember, if you want a chance to be featured in one of these battles, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. My link is down there as well, and that's where I ask for such battles. So today we are here back with our semi-weekly favorite generation Pokemon. So today we are on 4th gen. We're kicking this off. Remember, if we crush 2,500 likes, we'll go ahead and have another Wi-Fi battle with the same exact team on Saturday for you guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now what I chose as my top 6. Not hard, not like definitive in stone top 6, but these are 6 of my favorite Gen 4 Pokemon that stand out above the rest just a little bit. Now I gotta be honest, this was one of the hardest generations. This was the hardest generation so far that I've had to do because 4th gen had so many amazing Pokemon. I think 4th gen might be my favorite when it comes to new Pokemon introduced. It just might be. I think it also had one of the largest. No, I think Gen 5 was that. I'm not sure. But Brock, Toxicroak really stands out among the Gen 4 Pokemon for me. I love Toxicroak so much. It's got Sucker Punch. It's poison fighting. Such a terrible, well, I shouldn't say such a terrible typing, but because it's frail, it's not the best defensive typing, obviously, and it's also frail. And Poison back in 4th gen was one of the worst offensive typings in general. Now finally with Fairy introduced in 6th gen, it's been a little bit better, of course, but it's still just not the best. But I love Brock, seriously, probably my favorite Gen 4 Pokemon, just period. It's really close, I'm pretty sure. Then we have Punisher the Magmortar. We're really close. I was gonna go with Lonely the Infernape, but honestly, this was the first generation where a starter didn't show up in my top 6 because I love him. I like Empoleon, I love Infernape, and I love Torterra. I actually think out of the 3, Torterra is my favorite. I know it's not competitively viable, so you don't see too much on the channel, but I should be using it a lot more. But Punisher is my favorite fire type. I actually loved all the additional evolutions that came with Gen 4, like Electivire, Magnezone, Magmortar, Tangrowth, like I love all those Pokemon. Tangrowth just barely missed the cut. He's number 7 for sure on this list. Then we have Ice Ace Baby Mamoswine. I've just always loved Mamoswine. It's just been such a, it's half lovable and half frightening. It's such a huge Pokemon, but it's like also looks really soft. Those tusks are adorable. Boss, the Honchkrow, absolutely one of my favorites. I actually have 2 dark types on this team, kind of a drag. So the only fairy resistance I have is Punisher, and he's not supposed to be taking hits really. You'll see what he's supposed to be doing. And then we have I Am Error, the Porygon Z, another evolution that was added on from Gen 1 or a Gen 2 Pokemon if you think about it. But is it Gen 2? Was Porygon 2 in Gen 2 or is it Gen 3? I think it was Gen 2, almost positive Gen 2. But Porygon Z, one of my favorite Pokemon. I just love how quirky it is and it just spazzes all the time. I love it. And then Phantom, the Spiritomb, was my favorite ghost type in Gen 4. Absolutely, hands down, I just absolutely loved Spiritomb as a Pokemon. So we're gonna go in right now. We're gonna see if we can snag a W with this team. Now, I'm a little scared of this team. It's not bulky at all. When Spiritomb is the bulkiest Pokemon in your team, you know that you don't have bulk. I'm gonna take a picture of my opponent's team actually, and we can see, I'm already upset. I'm already upset because I see some things that I wish I had answers for. He has a Regenerator Slowking, and that just bothers me. It just does. It just bothers me. I'm just glad that I'm not going against OU.deck. Like, this is not OU.deck, and my team is not OU.deck. Even though I asked for an OU battle, we just both have, he's got Tyranitar from the OU tier, and I have the Mamoswine from the OU tier. So I win on that front. Mamoswine's gonna be super important to this. I can't let him get burned. The Coffer Grease opens up, we're gonna have a bad time. I would like to burn most of his team. I'd actually like to burn every single member of his team. I think I'm gonna open up Phantom. Because like I said, it's my bulkier Mon. I don't wanna go into I Am Error. I Am Error is actually my Choice Scarf Pokemon on this team. I don't think I had a Choice Scarf in the last session of battles, but my Choice Scarfer almost went for the Agility Nasty Plot Double Dance set, but I didn't really want to this time around. I just wanted some nice and simple and easy. We're gonna see Shades the Crocodile, nice and shady nickname, okay. And we'll have Phantom here. So I'm okay with this because honestly, if we burn this thing, we're good to go. He knows I have no Defoggers or Rapid Spinners, so I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent decides to just say, oh no. This shouldn't do too much though, right? It's a crit. Thank goodness this isn't Gen 1. Okay, so it's gonna do more than I want it to. We're getting beat up Crocodile for the 2nd time on the YouTube channel. I think it's only the 2nd time this has ever happened. The 1st time was from Chase. We're gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp though. It does connect, thankfully. And this Crocodile is extremely crippled now, absolutely crippled. Pretty tempted to go for the Pain Split. I think I will go for the Pain Split no matter what. We're probably gonna see a knockoff here unless this thing is Choice, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see the knockoff. No, then I think we would have gone for it anyway. We're gonna Pain Split. We're gonna Pain Split right here. Whether he switches out or not, either way, we're getting a decent amount of HP back. So if he attacks me, I should live it no matter what. Since he's burned, we'll get a Pain Split off, and Spiritomb will still have a little bit more survivability. He only has 1 eye. His other eye's just gone. He's got nothing going on in there. That's kind of intense. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That is kind of intense. Oh man. Withdraws shades and goes out into potentially the Slowking? Nope. Okay. Oh, okay. Right up. Well, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna pain split, which I think Croagunk doesn't have too much HP, so we're not gonna. Okay, we got a decent amount. All right. We're kind of on the same page here. We see that we're faster because I'm assuming this thing is gonna be holding the leftovers. There we go. So I actually, Croagunk was pretty close on the list too. We're gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp this thing. I mean, I know I'm faster. I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp him. Because I kind of, when I put Phantom on the team, I kind of accepted that Spiritom's really just going to be used to burn some things. That's really his goal. We're going to see a Toxic here, which I'm actually happier with that than anything else. I'd rather see Toxic than a Will-O-Wisp. So this could be a dual status Coffin. It totally could be, but I feel like it's not. So we're gonna get our lefties. He's gonna get his lefties. We're gonna see a lot of animations in this battle, ladies and gentlemen. We've got burns, we've got poisons, we've got lefties. Everything's happening. Apples are getting munched on. But I don't think I'm gonna be staying in this next turn coming up. I'm trying to think it would be an appropriate switch, and I don't have a steel type to avoid a double toxic, but I also don't think a double toxic would come my way. You know, it stinks because I kind of want to get my stealth rocks up soon because he has nothing to get rid of rocks either. And while he has nothing that takes super effective damage from it, it's just nice residual damage. Potentially breaking a focus sash on Haxorus if that's going to be a thing, which sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes it is. We could also go out into Punisher, our Magmortar, which has the life orb. We can start setting up our flame charges, which is always fun. But I think it's a little bit too early to do that, considering he's got a Slowking, which I believe Slowking is normally more specially defensive, so that wouldn't be a good time. I don't have knockoff, unfortunately. I might stay in and just go for the foul play. I think I'm just gonna go for the foul play and see how much it does. I mean, it's stab, and we're not burned, so let's see how much it does. Okay, so it brings him down a decent amount. Mummy Infiltrator is gone. And now we're gonna see a Hex. Oh, that's neutral. That's some damage right there. That is some damage right there. I think that Spiritom's time has already been used. This is why, like, I've loved this Pokemon since 4th gen, but I don't use it often because I just feel like it's a little underwhelming. I feel like it's just a tad underwhelming. I would like to go for a Sucker Punch, but I was kind of scared of like the Pain Split or anything. But at this point, I will go for a Sucker Punch. I don't think he'll Toxic. I think he's gonna go for the Hex again now that we've seen it. Potentially go for the Toxic, predicting Porygon Z, depending on how nervous he is right now. If Styx is kind of nervous, he might predict that PZ. We're gonna go Sucker Punch. It doesn't fail, so he did go for the Hex. Is this gonna be enough to take him out? It's super effective. Bam! There it goes down. Spiritom's gonna be sticking around #bars for another turn. We are gonna take Toxic damage here after getting our leftovers recovery, but we should have just a sliver of HP left. Now that he's seen the Sucker Punch, I think his switch in really is most likely Chestnut. I want to say Chestnut because Chestnut resists the Sucker Punch. And I don't think he'd want to risk setting up with anyone else. Maybe the Slowking. I don't think he'd want to risk setting up with anyone else because I'm just gonna burn them with our beautiful Will-O-Wisping action. Or you could go out into the Crocodile, knowing that the only damage he's gonna take is Sucker Punch and burn damage, and he'll be sure to get rid of Spiritomb. But I think the best possible switch in is probably the Chestnut because it's outspeed Spiritomb, I believe. And it won't take too much damage from me. Then again, he could be thinking I do have the, well, I've shown Foul Play, Sucker Punch, and Will-O-Wisp. So I haven't shown my 4th move yet. So maybe that's a little disheartening for him. He might be thinking there's a chance that I have Shadow Sneak and I'll get decent damage off on Chestnut, but Chestnut's so bulky that it really doesn't matter. I don't have any flying type moves to take advantage of that 4x weakness. That's such a drag. No flying coverage on my team at all. It definitely is a shame. I feel quite parched today. Gen 4, I kind of want to know, oh, man, let me know, of course, in the comment section down below what your top 6 Gen 4 Pokemon are. I'd love to hear from you guys. We're going to see Dreas comes out here. Now, this to me screams, I'm going for Dragon Dance. And I could be totally wrong. I could definitely be wrong. I think the best thing I can actually do is Foul Play him. Well, it depends. So if he's gonna attack, Sucker Punch is the best play, but I don't wanna risk, I'm not gonna, in no scenario am I letting him get a free Dragon Dance up completely. I don't really care about popping the Lum because I'm already gonna assume that the Lum's there. So I'm gonna go for a Foul Play. He goes for Outrage outright. Okay. Outrage outright. Now, of course, that is pretty terrifying. We're gonna Mummy, no more Mold Breaker. That's good to know. That's good to know. If we had a Sturdy Mon, it would be pretty useful to pass that Mummy along. But we don't have a Sturdy Mon. So knowing that he's locked into Outrage, oh man. Like I said before, nothing on my team is bulky. I gotta go out into Ice Ice Baby. I gotta go out into Ice Ice Baby, and I didn't want to have to do this just yet because I needed Ice Ice Baby for Chestnut, I kind of feel like. But we'll go ahead and we will Icicle Crest this thing up. It doesn't look like we're gonna get our rocks up. They're gonna see the Outrage right there. We do have a Focus Sash if it doesn't take us out, but it looks like, yeah, we're gonna be brought down right to Sash. Haxorus is such a monster. 2-turn Outrage, I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's pretty nice for my opponent, actually. I don't know, I guess not. For me, I would have liked to see 2-turn, I would have liked to see 3-turn Outrage because I can Ice Shard in the following turn. Just kidding, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, it never matters. It's never gonna matter, never will matter, never has mattered. Has mattered. Has matter sounds like one word, has matter. We'll go ahead and knock out this Haxorus. I don't know what my opponent would want to switch into now. Potentially I mean, everything's slower than this Mamoswine in my opponent's team. Everything except unless that Crocodile is Choice Scarfed. And if that Crocodile is Choice Scarfed and has Pursuit right now, that is just bravo. Bravo to my opponent because I don't think an Ice Shard will take him out. Out comes Shades. Here we go. Kind of screaming that it's Choice Scarfed or that it has Pursuit. One of the two. We've only seen it use one move. Is Mamoswine worth salvaging? It kind of is. To outspeed that Chestnut, go for an Icicle Crash. Oh man. Whatever, they just Ice Shard for damage. I think I'm just gonna Ice Shard for damage. I'm just gonna Ice Shard for damage because I still think that this thing is like Choice Scarf Moxie. We haven't seen the ability. We see no Intimidate. We see nothing like that. So going for the knockoff, it's gonna take us out. Unfortunately, no Pursuit, so we could have switched something in, but it really wouldn't have been worth. Considering I do have the potential to switch into my my Porygon Z right now is pretty much my only switch in. Either that or we go into Brock and set up a Swords Dance, which kind of punches a hole through my opponent's team. But on the off chance that he's not Choice Scarfed, well actually, yeah, in the off chance he's not Choice Scarfed, we'd be really, really dumb to do that. Because we can go on into, we do have a flying, we have a Honchkrow on our team, of course we have a flying type move. Honchkrow also puts in a lot of work right now. If I get this Moxie up, I destroy his team. I think I have to go on to the Honchkrow right here. I'm gonna go on to the Honchkrow right here. Like, even if we take this knockoff, I'm fine with it. Because it's I know it's +1 and it'll do a decent amount, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna go for a Brave Bird. There's a chance he might preserve this Crocodile, but I think this is a boss sweep right here. Looking at my opponent's team, I got the Superpower for the T-Tar, I got the Brave Bird for the Chestnut, and then if I get any sort of knockouts before Slowking comes out, I can one-shot that thing with a Brave Bird because I got that Moxie. I got a Life Orb Moxie. So I think we're losing the Life Orb here if he stays in. If he's Choice Scarfed anyway. If he's not Choice Scarfed, I think he still outspeeds us, almost positive. And he'll be able to take us out by switching his move up and go for a Stone Edge, but it's okay, we have backup sweepers. No big deal. No big deal, not to me today. Shades, oh man, it hurts me a little bit to knock out Shades. Nice liability. Withdraws, I guess maybe T-Tar? Goes out into Dragon Zord. Straight up, ladies and gentlemen. Power Ranger type of theme. Now this stinks because we're gonna take Brave Bird, Sand, and Life Orb Recoil right here. I wonder how much it's gonna do. I don't think it's gonna do too much. Yeah, it's not doing much at all. And it stinks because we're gonna take Mad Recoil. Part of me actually wants to switch out now that I see just how much work this Honchkrow can do to my opponent's team. Part of me wants to switch out into like either I Am Error or Brock. I wouldn't mind going on into Brock. Either that or we just stay in and we Superpower and we take him out and then we have a defense drop and we get no attack boost because Superpower is going to lower attack and then Moxie's going to increase it. Then he goes out into Slowking. Yeah, I don't really like the way that sounds. I'm going to go into the Brock. I'm going to go into the Brock right now. I think we'll see a Stone Edge. I think we'll see a Stone Edge miss. That's what I think we're going to see. Oh, it's a Mega T-Tar. Okay, I'm a little more terrified now, actually. I'm slightly more terrified. I'm also doing this like, oh, Stealth Rock. Wow. Okay. I'm also doing this completely under the assumption that I outspeed, a T-Tar. Could be completely wrong. We just saw Stealth Rock, so it could be bulky. So in the world where his T-Tar outspeeds me, he's gonna EQ me anyway, so there's no point in Drain Punching. I just don't see him staying in. So I'm gonna SD. Yeah, like, I don't see him staying in. Yes, I don't see him staying in unless he outsped me. So Drain Punch would be completely pointless. We're gonna see King Cold come out, which is probably gonna be the slow King, which is just fine because these things are normally specially defensive, I believe. So we can either go for the poison. I mean, and this is one of the Pokemon that's gonna cause us a lot of trouble. So we can either go for the Poison Jab and do +2 Poison Jab is gonna do a lot of damage. And then we're gonna go down to a Psychic type move immediately, 100%. Which I'm fine with. I'm looking at it and I'm totally fine with that. I'm just gonna go for Poison Jab. I could have Sucker Punched and taken him out. Now that I'm thinking about it. Is that right card? Switched out with Eject button. Oh my gosh, I wonder if he was just gonna T-Wave me. Oh, he really wanted that Sucker Punch. Thank goodness I didn't Sucker Punch. I think that was almost a bad play on my part, honestly. Because he could have gone for like T-Wave, Sucker Punch fails. Wow. Eject button Slow King is really nice just because the Regenerator automatically triggers. Unfortunately, since it's such a slow Pokemon, I think that that's more... I feel like Eject button Slow King is better under Trick Room. And looking at his team with Slow King and Cofagrigus, I could definitely see there have been, possibly have been room for Trick Room on this team. And then Chestnut being really slow. But at this point now, with Slow King taking that much damage, Haxor's already being gone, and the fact that this I think this Toxicroak, I thought we were gonna get a boss sweep. Looks like we're getting a Brock sweep. That's what's happening right now. Oh man, I love Toxicroak. I loved Croagunk in the anime. Tarjay. So we could see a Spiky Shield here. And I kind of think that's the only thing my opponent can do is Spiky Shield. I don't see any other move. I know he could pack EQ, but I don't think there's any reason for me not to Poison Jab. Even if he is gonna Spiky Shield, he's not gonna Spiky Shield because it's not worth the risk. Of him not Spiky Shielding, it's totally not worth the risk because Poison Jab, boom, get out of here. It's Rocky Helmet too, oh man. Rocky Helmet, Sandstorm, and then Black Sludge is gonna come through. I could potentially see the, Sandstorm's not gonna come through, I totally lied. Sandstorm is gonna die out, actually. If this Tyranitar outspeeds us, then I think my opponent's gonna hugely regret switching out into his Slow King at that point when he did. Here comes King Cold again, but looking at how much, I believe a Poison Jab will take him out. I believe a Poison Jab will take him out. I'm not gonna Sucker Punch. Withdraws King Cold just to get the Regenerator up, makes perfect sense, but Shades is gonna come out, sack that off. Definitely the play to make just to get that Regenerator. Poison Jab from Toxicroak is gonna go ahead and seal the deal on this part. I probably could have gone for an SD and then Sucker Punch that Crocodile to death, but I just, it doesn't seem like it's not worth the risk at all. It's totally not worth the risk. When you're this far out, you might as well just shout about how far out you are. You know? No one knows. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to know. Slow King is actually gonna come back out. Now we're in a position where I am just gonna Sucker Punch. If he wants to T-Wave me, that's fine. It doesn't fail, which means Brock. Oh, Brock, you were so close, Brock. You were so close, Brock. Oh my goodness. All right, well, Brock's gonna go down to a Psy Shock, which is fine. Brock did a lot of work that match, absolutely. And he's my #1 favorite Pokemon, so hopefully you voted for him for MVP. At this point, I could go on into King Cold. I could go on to the Boss and clean up with Boss. I could go on to the Punisher and really hope that I don't get juiced. I think I'm gonna go into the Punisher and hope that I don't get juiced. I'm gonna go out into Punisher and hope that I don't get juiced. So I named him Punisher because Punisher, you know, uses guns and he's very accurate. So I'm hoping that this Punisher will take after that Punisher. I'm actually gonna go for the Flame Charge here just to make sure that I think he's gonna switch into his T-Tar, honestly. If not, Flame Charge will still take him out. He's got barely any HP. I think he'll switch into T-Tar, we'll get Flame Charge off, we'll outspeed that, and then we have to land a Focus Blast. Now listen, last week we ended up releasing Lilith because it couldn't hit like 5 Focus Blasts. We're gonna see the Tyranitar come in. This week, I'm hoping we don't have to go through that. I'm hoping that Magmortar here just wants to go ahead, connect. I probably don't even need the Flame Charge to outspeed this thing, but you know what, it's okay. Flame Charge, here we go. Watch this damage. Woo! damage right there. We're gonna get a speed boost though, which is why I like Punisher. Punisher does get faster the more that he kills. That's kind of just how he works as a soldier. Like a Saiyan, getting stronger when they lose, but Punisher gets faster as he kills. So let's go ahead, we're gonna go for Focus Blast here. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can Punisher land this? Yes, Punisher! Punisher knows what he's gotta do. It's gonna be enough to take Dragon Zord out. And we're gonna be sitting here in a very sweet position. My opponent only has the Slow King left. We've got a pretty fast Punisher, although we don't need to be fast to take out a Slow King. We can fire a Thunderbolt off, do super effective damage. Not gonna be enough to take him out, I don't think. Actually, you know what? It's possible. It's totally possible. I'm rocking that Life Orb. So Punisher, can you wrap this game up for us? Can you show us exactly who you punish and why? King Cold. What is he, a mob? He must be a mob leader. Woo! Getting that knockout. For a second, I thought he was gonna live. It was like just a sliver. That was an awesome game, Sticks. Thank you so much. I'm glad we got to win. I think this team is a bit more well constructed. It's constructed a bit better than our past gen teams for sure. And I happen to love all these Pokemon, so it works out really, really well. Thank you so much for that battle, Sticks. If you guys enjoyed, please show some shady love to that thumbs up down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you want a chance to be featured in one of these battles. I love you so much. I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else, keep it